Have you ever been in a meeting and someone asks, okay, but what if pipeline drops 10%? And you know the answer is sitting somewhere in your model, but to actually produce it, you'd need to duplicate a file, update assumptions, rerun half your logic, sanity check the rollups, and suddenly, quick question, becomes 2 days of work, and while you are rerunning your model, a decision will get made without you. I'm going to show you how to build a driver-based forecast where scenarios don't require copying your model. Instead, you'll be able to change assumptions and see the impact immediately without turning your planning process into spreadsheet archaeology. Hi, I'm Wattig. I run the FP&A certificate program at Wharton Online and spent years in senior finance roles at P&G, Unilever, and Squarespace. Today, I help finance teams move beyond spreadsheets as a corporate trainer. In this series, we're doing a deep dive into Abacom, an FP&A tool that changes the way we build financial models. Full disclosure, Abacom is sponsoring this video series. But I only agreed to this partnership because I kept hearing from other finance leaders that this tool is exceptional. So I didn't just want to do a standard review, I actually went to their headquarters in New York City to meet the team and see the engine under the hood. After hours of talking to the team and reviewing the tool myself, I decided to take you along on this journey to see exactly what Abacom can do. Today, we cover agile forecasting and scenarios, how to structure a model so you can answer what if fast and keep control of the logic while still letting stakeholders explore outcomes. Let's name the real problem. In most spreadsheet workflows, scenarios happen by duplication. You copy the model, you tweak assumptions. Then someone asks for one more variant, so you copy it again. Pretty soon, you're managing versions by file names and hoping nobody changed the wrong cell. And it's not just annoying. Duplication creates 3 big risks. 1. Logic drift. Scenarios stop being comparable because formulas diverge unintentionally. 2. Audit pain. You can't easily explain what changed and why. And 3. Speed. Every scenario becomes a mini project. And that's not agile, that's fragile. What we want instead is one model, controlled logic, fast scenario, levers. Here's the simplest way Abacom explained the system to me. Think of it like 3 worksheets in a workbook, but built for scale. First, your source data. That's your integrations, datasets, dimensions. Second, your model, where you define the logic. Third, your outputs and input templates. Abacom calls these spaces. And the core modeling concept is something Abacom calls a metric. A metric is best thought of like a tiny data cube, your revenue cube, COGS cube, and so on, where actuals, forecast, budget live together in that same object. Once a metric exists, you can pull it into a space as KPI cards, tables, charts, basically like building a dashboard or planning template out of blocks. It's completely flexible. That structure is what makes scenarios interesting, because if the model is centralized and reusable, scenario logic doesn't have to be a spreadsheet copy. Quick note, if you want to explore Abacom yourself while you're watching this, there's a link in the description to learn more about Abacom. No pressure, this video is designed to be useful either way, but if you want to follow along hands-on, that's the easiest way. Let's do a simplified build that mirrors a common driver-based approach. Step 1, create a metric, call it revenue. In Abacom, you're not writing formulas by cell. You're defining logic at the metric level, like logic for actuals, logic for forecast, more centralized than maintaining formulas across a whole grid. For example, for actuals, you might filter your source data to income and aggregate. For forecast, maybe you start with something basic, like last month as a base and apply growth. Now here's where it becomes dynamic. You can add dimensions, like entity and product, so the metric isn't just one number, it becomes a structured cube. And once dimensions are enabled, the logic can cascade. So if a new entity gets added, it can inherit your model logic automatically. This is the scale moment. It's how the model grows with the company instead of breaking when complexity increases. and you can still override. So you might say, for the US entity, we use one approach, but for Spain, we use a moving average. Abacom shows that as mixed logic. The practical implication is huge. You're building a model that grows with the business. New products, customers, vendors can flow in without rebuilding the structure. Now we get to the core of the video, scenarios. Abacom separates versions and scenarios, and it matters. A simple example they gave me was, in one version, revenue might be price times quantity. In another version, revenue might be price times quantity plus onboarding fee, meaning the formula can change by version. But scenarios don't change the formula. Scenarios change the values of the drivers, the parts inside the formula. So a best case scenario might push price up and quantity up. A downside might reduce quantity or compress price without rewriting the model. And here's the big benefit. Scenarios live underneath versions, so you can change assumptions without duplicating the model. That's exactly the opposite of the spreadsheet copy and pray workflow. This also creates a clean permission boundary. Finance owns the formula. Stakeholders can adjust drivers for bull-bear cases without breaking the model or overriding the base case, simply in their browser window. So if sales want to test pipeline outcomes, they can adjust inputs and explore scenarios, while the underlying logic stays consistent and auditable. And driver inputs can be manual or connected. You can connect drivers to systems like a CRM, so forecasts update when the underlying driver changes. That's the mechanism that enables what-if speed. One model, controlled logic, fast scenario levers, and ideally, live drivers. Two more things from the build perspective that can speed up the what-if loop. Number one, machine learning-based forecasting. Abacom has an AI forecast option that uses a sophisticated statistical algorithm that captures seasonality and trends. My take, this is useful as a baseline generator, especially when you want a quick starting point before layering business judgment and driver logic. I wouldn't use this as the only way to forecast though. You should definitely also run a judgment-based forecasting approach that takes nuances into account. But having a machine learning-based forecast at the push of a button without having to hire a data science team can make a huge difference to speed and forecast accuracy, especially when you have accurate historical data and use it in combination with a driver-based approach. Number two, AI data cleaning. Now, there's another layer that we all know too well, but still often underestimate, and that's data quality, because your forecast is only as good as your inputs. And in reality, most raw data coming from ERPs, CRMs, or HR systems is messy. Vendor names vary, job titles aren't standardized, customer labels differ across entities. Before you can even build drivers, you often end up spending hours cleaning data manually. Abacom initially addressed this with an AI classifier, designed to automatically categorize vendors, customers, transactions, or opportunities. That alone reduces a lot of manual mapping work. But what I found more interesting is how they've expanded this into broader AI-powered data cleaning. Instead of writing long transformation formulas or constantly retraining classification models, you can now select a messy column, say vendor name, and trigger AI data cleaning. It generates a normalized, deduplicated version of that column. Importantly, the original data stays untouched. The cleaned column is created as a new transformation. And when new data syncs in next month, the cleaning logic applies automatically. So if your dataset says Amazon, Amazon UK, Amazon EU SAR, Amazon Web Services.com, instead of building nested if statements, you generate a cleaned column, and they're unified. That means your dataset stays clean over time without constant intervention. It's also not a destructive override. The cleaning runs in the background, creates a separate column, and can be reviewed or removed like any other transformation. It doesn't override anything. This matters because forecasting is only as good as the inputs, and messy dimensions can kill models quietly. Let's recap the playbook for answering what if fast with Abacom. 1. centralize your logic by building metrics as reusable model objects. Think data cubes, not scattered cell formulas. 2. Add dimensions so the model scales and formulas can cascade as the business changes. 3. Use versions for structural model changes and scenarios for assumption changes, so you don't duplicate the model. And 4. Speed up the workflow with machine learning-enabled baseline forecasting and cleaner inputs via the AI data cleaning feature. If you want to learn more about Abacom, check the link in the description. And if you want the next video in this series, we'll keep going deeper, because the real test of FP&A platform is, can it stay structured when the business gets messy?